Gareth. Oh fuck, he stopped now. Have you finished all the songs now? You finished?
Yeah.
You finished? He's finished. Sweet. Daniel Lopatin.
What?
He's the guy we're reviewing today. Do you not pay attention? He's the recording alias for Oneohtrix Point Never. New album. Garden of Delete.
Oneohtrix Never Point Never.
Never Point Never. Daniel is an American experimental musician, composer, producer, and owner of a Brooklyn-based record label, Software. This album is insane. It's fucking insane. I can imagine for some people, this kind of music is not very accessible, but to me it was an awesome experience in noise, tone, and texture.
Didn't like it when he fondled Wally at the start though.
It did sound a little bit like that. Although that intro, it gives you a pretty solid idea of what's gonna happen in the album.
Yeah.
Ezra was kind of amazing, wasn't it?
It was brilliant. It was such a good song. It was just everything happens just constantly. There's just things. There's crazy jazzy double bass, and then there's like an old school breaks UK hardcore sort of crazy synth art going on.
80s video game sound stuff.
Big choppy Simpson vocal samples.
I love the way it could go from minimalist to just the wildest shit.
And it doesn't seem like awkward.
Yeah.
The transitions
it was
always work.
so diverse, yet so concise, and just like it managed to stay as one song rather than just being like, oh yeah, we're just gonna do something completely different. But they did do that, or he did do that.
Yeah.
But it was still like, oh, that's just so good.
Just every bit of it, you're just like, okay, so the crazy arpeggiated synth line has started, and now there's some jazzy bass line, but you never ever like, oh, why is there a jazzy bass line now?
Yeah, it always just
like,
worked.
oh yeah, now it's the next thing.
Yeah. It was like glitchy as hell as well.
This whole album is glitchy as hell, and it's awesome.
Yeah, you kind of get snapshots, like constantly, like snapshots, just like a different like musical idea that just all. Sometimes you listen to a song and you think 3 songs have happened, but it's just been one kind of opera of noise.
Crazy.
Or in some of them, many more than that.
Sticky Drama also actually incredible.
Before we get Sticky Drama, I just want to mention just an interesting little thing.
Before
Echo Jam.
How dare you?
Echo Jam C1, you prick.
It's like an interlude.
Yeah.
It's the second song if you discount the intro. Just like on Currents.
You see, I would.
Mentioned there, it's kind of weird that you have an interlude after just the first song.
But there's an intro, so yeah, I was just like, yeah, they're just putting another little
thing, yeah.
And there's another one, isn't there?
Is that Echo Jam's C1?
Yeah, like track 5 is like another interlude thing.
Echo Jam C1 really reminded it was kind of stoned. It was kind of just chilled and weird. It really reminded me of Illusions by Cypress Hill. I don't know if you've ever given that track a listen.
I like it.
But it's kind of awesome.
I'm like, that's the same
It was
sort of
only
vibe.
like 32 seconds.
I know. A lot can happen.
Drama. It's not only 32 seconds.
That's like 8. It's the longest track on the album.
This is an 8-minute monster of a
Sticky
track.
Drama.
Yeah. Oh no, it's not.
No. Sticky Drama was 4 minutes
No.
17.
Mutant Standard was the longest track.
Standard was the 8-minute monster.
Yeah.
So Sticky Drama.
Sticky Drama, right?
Was it fucking insane?
Amazing.
Yes.
Again, like this massive distorted pad thing is just like bam right in your face. It's just like bam. Yeah.
It was like well, I actually punched you in the face a little bit.
And this very much had a sort of Porter Robinsy style of that sort of big distorted stuff as well, which is just awesome.
And then it just like later on it just develops into absolute chaos.
The bass in this was huge. The big bass synth that comes in like halfway
really
through.
Aphex Twin actually.
Yeah, very Aphex. I got Aphex.
That was like one of the sound effects he used.
Yeah, very much. Yeah.
But the fucking blast beat that you get in this song, like it's like mimicking like a heavy metal song using electronic sounds completely.
The drums go
Or
crazy.
even black
I feel
metal,
like
I
these
don't know.
songs are composed at about like 2 million BPM. You know what I mean? Like when he puts a kick on every beat, it is like, and you're just like, whoa.
What is happening?
Calm down, but it's awesome.
Mutant Standard.
You just skipped right over SDFK.
Another cool short interlude
Oh,
track.
no, you're right. SDFK, that was like old school minimalism.
That was one of my favourite
And
tracks on the album.
super cool.
I'm talking like way back when. I'm talking 60s electronic minimalism.
It was super cool.
It was so old school, but then it has like a really modern climax right at the end, and you're like,
Oh, that was so weird how it just went into like
crescendo was
industrial
awesome, yeah.
rock beat. It kicked it's like slamming. It kicks ass.
in your face.
This song actually had a strong Deadmau5 vibe for me.
Yeah, it
With the
is.
piano,
Like
yeah.
a lot of his sort of big synthy stuff that he does. I can feel that.
But Mutant Standard,
The 8-minute monster.
the longest track on the whole
Which
album.
second.
really shows how he can really fucking like. After the beginning is a bit like it's the same sort of repetitive bass
yeah,
for quite
it's
a
slow
while.
to
I like
progress,
The first 2 minutes takes a while,
but then it goes kind of crazy.
and then it's literally like we were saying for the first track. It's new stuff constantly, no bad transitions. Everything's interesting and different for 6 minutes straight.
Yeah.
Just stuff happens and then
The
something else
problem
happens.
that I
and
had
something
with
else.
this track was that it was such a long track and so many new things happening. I kind of felt with Ezra, I was like, yeah, it's like doing loads of crazy stuff, but it's still concise. In Mutant Standard, it was kind of going. It was going all over the place, and it wasn't really sticking to one thing. But at the same time, I didn't mind that it was doing
Yeah.
that, because it was kind of like a collage of weird ideas, and it was like, this is cool. I've gotten used to, like, Ezra was great at like weaning me into this album, and now I'm like, yeah, I can just take me where you want. Take me where you want.
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Yeah, the song could go from like lush and textured to just. I describe it as Frankie Goes to Hollywood come techno.
Kind of vaporwave as well.
Yeah, I fucking love the vaporwave. It's just hilariously good and bad at the same time. But I love the kind of odd samples from like films you'd get in this.
Yeah.
And at one point, it's like really disgusting, like squelchy, like meat slicey noises. It was
I want to talk a bit more
That was
generally
such a
about
description.
the later album.
yeah.
Because especially, I think you made a good point when you said Ezra's like the introduction to his album. And then Mutant Standard is like the big monster of like, look what
It's
I can
like
do,
its
this
older
huge
brother.
awesomeness. And then
Yeah.
near the end, the rest of the songs after sort of that sort of style, Child of Rage onwards, I think they focus more on ideas. And they still have a lot of this like sort of choppiness, but they are more focused on a thing. And he starts using a lot of what I think are Vocaloids. Where he has very synthesized sounding
Interesting.
vocal. Like when I heard it was Animals the first one I heard it on, and it gave me that Portal vibe again because I was already getting it from his album. I was like, is that a Vocaloid? I think it might be. And he uses them a lot in this album going further on, where they're sort of quite far back in the mix, so you can't realise that they're not like real singers.
Yeah.
But they're interesting sounds, and all of these sounds have really interesting stuff going on with them.
I bite through it. Gave me some more Deadmau5 vibes,
Yep.
but perhaps with a little more of that kind of noise music element in there thrown in. And then in the middle, it gets kind of delightful. It's instrumental.
This is one of those songs where he does something really slow and like just starts, and all of a sudden it's just like bam in your face, like whoa.
It's like,
and then after about 20 seconds, it's just like and slow again.
yeah, it's like,
then
it's like he
It
made
goes
this.
so intense at the end of that song.
It's like he made this album in a DAW that was set to like 200 BPM.
Yeah.
And the fast bits are straight 200 BPM on the beat, and then he goes halftime down to like 100, and it's suddenly so slow compared to what it was. But it like I said, the transitions are always so good that it never feels awkward. You're never like, oh god, it's slow again. You're like, oh, it's slow.
And then
again.
during the outro, he kind of tries to mash them both together and tries to have these really crazy distorted
over the
bits
slower.
going over the slower bits, and it works.
Mm.
And it's kind of crazy because you're like, this shouldn't work,
yeah,
but it does work.
One of the songs that was just like, it was so many different songs sort of put together, was Freaky Eyes.
This is what Gareth was saying earlier. He said something about him doing church gigs.
yes,
gigs in churches.
He doesn't book out like normal, like the O2 in Brixton or whatever. He tries to book out like churches and theatre halls and stuff so that he can get better acoustics.
Interesting.
And in this song, I got like kind of like a horror church theme. It had like an organ intro, but it was like a synth organ and like really atmospheric. And then
the first half of the song reminded me so much of Hans Zimmer's score of Interstellar, which was
I can see that.
which I'm absolutely crazy about as well. That
Yes.
was an amazing score.
And then the synth like develops these new rhythms and shit, and then it just cuts out to like this really
Makes
weird,
sense as well with the
chill
organ.
sample song.
It's all fitting together.
Lift me, baby.
Whoa. I have more to say about
Holy
Pinky Eyes.
fucking
This
shit.
is a 6-minute 31 song. It needs time. The old school outro, it delivers themes that fit the album.
He said themes.
And it feels as though at this song, because you're on track 10 at this point, you're like, this album could be sampling itself in the way that it's delivering these things which it's been giving you throughout the whole album, and they seem familiar, but at the same time they're just like completely radical new ideas, and you're like, I'm really getting into the fact that this is so radically different at times, but it still feels as though it's one full album.
Yeah.
Now we can move on.
It's awesome.
Lift.
You want to talk about Lift? Lift had some cool choppy guitar stuff.
I wasn't a massive fan of this one.
I didn't think it was one of the strongest.
I thought it was
quite
very good
unnerving.
techno.
Yeah.
You know why I say unnerving? Because it feels like the chord structure and then the melody on top, they were kind of out of key of each other at some points. Very kind of distant, and it was just, it kind of just puts you on edge. I don't know about you guys, but that's how it felt for me. No Good was a big, distorted, triumphant ending to the album.
Loved No Good. It was one of the great examples of the sort of the way he uses both the really soft bits and then the huge heavy bass comes in. The middle of it is destructive and huge and massive and distorted, and then it goes back to the really soft bit for the end. With the,
I felt
Again, the
as
vocal
though this was the worst on the album.
Seriously? I thought it was one of my
It's
favourites.
one of the best, yeah. I love
The
this
reason for this is because it did the whole, we're going to do something chill, and then something really distorted, and then something chill again. But then that was it. Like, it just went. It did it once. It did chill, distorted, chill, and then the song ended.
In a weird way, I was interested in that though, because everything else has been so much this, that, so much stuff, that when it did that, it ended, and I was like, oh, that was surprisingly simple, and it was quite nice.
It was simple,
sort of simple
but I
ending.
felt as though Lift, the previous song, was also quite simple, and the fact that it followed on straight from that, I was like, I'm starting to miss these like chaotic arrangements that he's been doing.
So what would be your favourite track on the album? Or tracks, sir?
Okay, favourites on the album. I'm going to have to say Ezra and Sticky Drama.
Oh, yeah.
But then Mutant Stand is incredible, I Bite Through It is incredible, and Freaky Eyes are incredible, but I'm not going to put all of them. I'm just going to put Ezra and Sticky Drama as my two favourites.
Yeah, I want to put Sticky Drama. I really love parts of I Bite Through It like the most on this album. And No Good. I'm going to have to go like that. That's going to be it.
Ezra, Mutant Standard, No Good, and Animals.
Sweet. Then marks out of 10, James.
No, Gareth.
Then marks out of 10, Gareth.
I love this album.
Yeah.
9 out of 10.
Oh, he said it.
That hasn't helped me. Kit.
I would give this an 8 out of 10. A solid 8.
No,
a good
that
8.
doesn't help me either, sorry. I'm going to go with a super strong 8. A super strong 8.
A super sore 8.
Can Isaac give it Super Saiyan hair?
I mean, I guess he can do whatever he wants. He's the man with the power.
He's a magician.
And if you like Men in Power, give us a like. Please press that like button for this video. And maybe even consider hitting the subscribe button. We'd find that just the most pleasurable thing. The most pleasurable thing.
More pleasurable than Men in Power.
I didn't want to go there.
And leave a comment on, who's the sexiest man in power right now? Is it Putin? Because he don't give a fucking shit. And he got that power.
Putin.
Oh yeah.
Putin makes Skrilla too. Hot Skrilla.
James,
No.
come on.
No.
Come on.
No.
Come on.
No.
I'll do it on your behalf.
No.
Gareth. Oh fuck, he stopped now. Have you finished all the songs now? You finished?
Yeah.
You finished? He's finished. Sweet. Experience in noise, tone, and texture.
Didn't like it when he fondled Wally at the start though.
It did sound a little bit like that. Although that intro, it gives you a pretty solid idea of what's gonna happen in the album.
Yeah.
Ezra was kind of amazing, wasn't it?
It was
fucking love that.
brilliant. It was such a good song. It was just everything happens, just constantly. There's just things.
Daniel Lopatin.
What?
He's the guy we're reviewing today. Do you not pay attention? He's the recording alias for Oneohtrix Point Never. New album. Garden of Delete.
Oneohtrix Point Never.
Never Point Never. Daniel is an American experimental musician, composer, producer, and owner of a Brooklyn-based record label, Software. This album is insane. It's fucking insane. I can imagine for some people this kind of music is not very accessible, but to me it was an awesome.
There's crazy jazzy double bass, and then there's like an old school breaks UK hardcore sort of crazy synth
And there's
art
like
going on.
80s video game sound stuff.
Big
and
choppy
then-
synths and vocal samples.
I love the way it could go from minimalist to just the wildest shit.
And it doesn't seem like awkward.
Yeah.
The
It
transitions
was
always
so
work.
diverse, yet so concise, and just like it managed to stay as one song rather than just being like, oh yeah, we're